All right, it's Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025 at 6 p.m. and I'd like to call a regular Board of Trustee meeting for the Village of North Hudson to order. And I have a short invocation, and it's, Father, we ask for wisdom, guidance, and discernment in the decisions we make that affect our village and its residents. We also ask you to watch over our police, and all first responders and all who serve. And I'd ask for, everyone to please keep the Assumption church families that were devastated last week, keep them in your prayers. Roll call, please.
Trustee Keller.
Here.
Trustee McGurran.
Here.
Trustee Nelson.
Here.
Trustee Olson, absent. Trustee Pike.
Here.
Trustee Porter.
Here.
And President Wecken.
Here. All righty then. Next item on the agenda is review and approve minutes from the regular board meeting of August 5, 2025.
Move to approve.
Thank you, Brian.
Second.
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 Thanks, Dusty. Any corrections, amendments, or additions to the minutes as presented? Hearing none. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item 3, comments from the floor, which will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. And it's the opportunity for Village of North Hudson residents, property owners, and business owners to make the board aware of new topics, issues, and opportunities not on today's agenda for consideration for future meetings. And I would like to state right out of the blocks is that I don't know if everybody looks at our website and saw that the agenda, that the rezoning topics are not on this agenda. And believe me, we are very aware of the fors and against the rezoning of those properties. So I really don't think we need to have a litany of folks come up to the mic to repeat that, yes, they're in favor of the rezoning or they're not in favor of the rezoning. That's being worked on through, still through plan, and we're working with the other stakeholders as far as the city, the county, and the town. And we're still working on that, so we're not going to have, we don't need any discussion on that right now as far as I'm concerned. I'm sorry if everybody came down here for that particular reason, to be able to speak, but we already understand, because I can see many people out here that I recognize from their emails and or phone calls that the board definitely understands your concerns, and we will try to address those in due time. Is there anyone that has anything new?
Hi, Tim Zeiss, 629 Cherry Circle North. I'm here to talk about Pepperfest, a little summary on that one. And more so to recognize our chief for the activity that we had throughout the weekend. Of course, we might have realized that Friday night was kind of, I wouldn't say a washout, but it was a washout. And in the 30-some years I've been involved with Pepperfest, it's really the first time I experienced that type of weather on Friday night. But I want to give recognition to the chief because he already set something up with the St. Croix County that we could contact people in the Silver Block area just through a text phone to tell them, number one, that the festival would be closing, and number two, let people inside know that we're going to be closing. So that activity saved us a lot of time and get people out of here, and then also deterred people from coming in on Friday night. And then on Saturday morning, of course, we had the parade, and in my time here, we've never canceled the parade. And Chief reached out to the National Weather Service, and we had a conference call with them. We communicated with them, and they told us what the weather pattern was going to be, and so we delayed it a half hour, and we had the rest of the day rain-free on Saturday. So it really goes out to the chief for all his organization. Ahead of time, he prepared us. Of course, we care about the safety first. We don't care about making money. First thing is safety with our people in the park and our workers. and kudos to the chief for his efforts on that weekend.
Can I speak? President Reckon?
Amy?
Amy Noonan, 323 7th Street North. I will not bring specifics up of the topic President Wecken already discussed, but I will say that I want to thank the board very, very much for reading the emails, for taking time to take the calls. I know you're all very busy. I know that for the majority of you, other than Gina, it's a volunteer job, and I appreciate you slowing that train down and really thinking it through, because as I'm sure you're aware, it's an extremely complex issue with many, many ramifications that will be with us for generations to come. So I thank you for looking at it deeply and giving it additional consideration.
Anyone else with anything new?
Mary Beth Mattia, 210 7th Street North, and I would echo that, but I won't waste your time on that. But I do want to say also, when we're considering any property sales besides the zoning, that we consider all those things that were talked about with zoning with any property sales, and also consider the conservancy offer that was on the table when that comes up, as opposed to just only looking at one offer. So just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody have anything new? Hearing not, we'll move on to item 4. New business from the board or staff, president's comments. There's not a lot going on really well, there's a lot going on in the village, obviously, by the
Unique words.
by the amount of people in the room, but it's nothing that I need to make a comment on right now, because like I said, we're still working on that. But I'd just like to remind everybody that Patriots Day is 9/11, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows the significance of that day, and it's just hopefully everybody will take the time to remember the fallen and those that were killed that day, and something that probably nobody even recognizes on the 17th is Constitution Day, and a lot of people don't even, I don't think they've even read the Constitution, but I would like everyone to think about that. And then, on the 22nd, the weather we're going to feel in the next few days is going to be officially fall on the 22nd. So fall begins. Gina?
Yeah, I just want to acknowledge that we had some technical difficulties in the meetings last week, and we have worked on that. So thank you to Nate from River Channel for addressing it. So hopefully if you're watching live right now, you're able to hear us and see everything. So so just know that we've taken steps to hopefully fix those issues. Also wanted to thank those that have responded to the survey that we put out there for the feedback on waste management and your experiences with waste management. We were receiving numerous calls, I think especially after the change of date. And so we thought the best way to really gather that feedback was to offer that opportunity for people to chime in. And so we did get a lot of feedback. So we're gathering that right now, and we're going to be using it to prepare the follow-up and the process that we need to do that's outlined in the contract to hopefully seek improvements, and if not, go from there. So thank you. We got over almost 60 people filled in that survey, so appreciate that. And then Also, we do have, unfortunately, our deputy clerk, Susanna, who is a part-time with us, has let us know that she will be retiring at the end of the year. So she's given us a long heads up, but we've started the process to backfill her. So if you know of anyone that's interested in a part-time deputy clerk position, it is out on our website, as well as I put it on Facebook, and it is in Indeed. So if you know anyone who would like to look at that, please let them know. We are keeping that open until September 12th. We've got some pretty good candidates so far, applications that have come in, but a couple more weeks on that. The last item I just wanted to mention is we've been 10 years in the making of a water sewer consolidation potentially with the city, and we are closer than we've ever been on that. We did get approval from the PSC to move forward with the consolidation, and there's going to be a joint communication between the city and us as to exactly what that means. If you remember, about a year ago, we communicated that rates would be increasing because we were not considered a part of the water sewer, but a customer, the certain kind of customer to the city, and we're working to just be a part of that utility. And so we'll be having a presentation with Ellers, who is our financial guidance company. They'll come in and talk a little bit about financially what does it mean to the village. We'll hopefully have the agreements ready to sign in early November, and the goal is to do a transfer date on January 1st. So again, we'll communicate what that means, pros, cons, all that good stuff, but I just want to give everybody a heads up.
Thank you.
Okay. Item 5 is 2025 deer management contract approval requested. Is there a
Move to
motion?
approve.
Second.
Brian Zadias
Brian,
and Kirk. Okay.
no,
John.
John.
Oh,
John
Brian,
John
John.
seconded.
I need a hearing aid adjustment tomorrow. Well, they're not open now, or I'd be on my way. Okay, any comments, questions, or I see Lon is here in case we have any questions for him. I believe Gina and Paul have looked at the contracts.
Yeah, the only change is that, I think this was actually in place for a couple of years, the insurance that they had was not what was in the contract, but I'm okay with the amounts if the board's okay with the amounts.
Yeah, so the insurance limits, Lon did work with us, so thank you for that, to update the contract to match their amended insurance limits. There was a disconnect there, and like Paul said, it had been that way for a while, so that's now been corrected, and so that is reflected in the motion statement along with the application to approve the 5 hunters currently that are identified to participate in the deer management program.
This is my 10th time asking. What year did you start this at?
Well, we went back, we looked at 2015.
You want to have them come up?
Yeah, sorry. Sir, we need you on the microphone. I
Yeah, you
apologize.
have to come up.
Yeah, I know. The one that's like, hey, you
Get
need to
more
follow
of your
the
steps
rules.
in for the day, you know? I like we don't have enough.
So I believe it was 2013 was the first year. It might have been 2014. I can't remember. I could go back and find out if I
No,
did that.
I just
But
want
it's
to
been
ask
more
him a
than
question.
10 years without incident. And, you know, yes, we still have deer, and yes, they still eat your plants, and yes, we're trying to just stem the tide a little bit, okay? And it's working.
How many deer do we kill a
We
year on
took
average?
14 deer last year out of the village proper, and we hope to up that considerably. What happened, the DNR changed the rules, if any of you are deer hunters. We can no longer bait in this county, and in our method, we're trying to place the deer to get them to come to a specific area where we can take care of it and get it done correctly. However, one deer was found to have CWD south of Prescott, and the DNR just made some adjustments. So we're in the second year of a 2-year ban. But by the last half of the year, we got it dialed in pretty good, where we just sit where the hostas are, and that's where they come. So
They already took all mine out.
I know, right? I know exactly. So, but it's been very successful. It works well. It doesn't cost the village anything. you know, and it's been a long time going.
Question, did we get the background checks for the
You did, yes, you did.
participants?
I don't know if you got them back, but
Yeah.
we
They
did,
sh-
Mark.
Yep, they should be in the back of the packet that was uploaded by Susanna. Starts with chief's memo, and then it has the applications for the different hunters.
Basically, you got the same hunters you've had for years.
We do, and we're open to more. You know, they can contact me if you want to do that. It's yes, we want to eliminate deer, but we need to be more cognizant about how we're perceived in the village, and you know, we can't have Bambi dying on some youngster's swing set. You know, it just doesn't work well. So we have to be very ethical and very particular about what we do and don't do. And so far it's worked very well. But if anyone is interested, we did add another hunter last year, and he's doing very well. You know, and again, so we're always open to more. But some people think it's, we're going to have this big game hunt and you're going to be running around, and it's not that way at all. It's a much more discreet. It's a much more, right? Exactly. So, okay.
Gene, I see the contract, but I don't see the additional information, so I'm not sure if it was posted.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Hand grenades really is, but no, I'm just kidding.
Bazookas.
It's only bow hunting, and we're very, it's very safe, so, except for the deer. And one of the first years they asked me, does it help with the deer ticks? And I said, well, we really can't hit a target that small, so.
Come on.
Well, we try, but,
Thanks, Lon.
okay, thank you.
Thanks, Lon.
You bet.
Any other board members have any comments? Hearing none, all in favor of the contract approval, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item 6, amended Class B, or parent Class B / Class B liquor license for extended premises, Malibu Inn Fall Motorcycle Run, October 11th. Approval requested.
Move to approve with all 9 conditions that we have in our packet.
I'll second.
How's that for fast?
That was good. It took me about 9 years to learn how to say that.
But you didn't have to read them all.
Yes.
No, I don't know, this fall run's been going on, well, the fall and spring run been going on as long as I've been around here, so, it's just a continuation this year. Hopefully they'll have good weather, because I know, Sandy counts on that for, making their year down there, so. Is there any discussion? Questions? Hearing none. All in favor of the approval of extended premises for the Malibu Inn Fall Motorcycle Run on October 11th with a rain-out date on the 25th, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
The 13th in here.
Yeah, October 13th, and
What?
Oh, I think I gave you an.
Did I get the wrong one?
I'm sorry, maybe. It's,
as seen in package.
I said as seen in package.
So if you say the date wrong, it's
October 11th.
yep,
package is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The agenda said the
Okay.
13th.
Patriot Day.
The agenda's, my agenda doesn't.
Oh,
Oh, you didn't get the updated version.
well, they don't give me stuff, you know.
Keep our lawyer in the dark. Okay, did we do all in favor yet?
We did.
Okay, then we'll move on to the next one. Plan Commission recommendations, chair update.
Hey, Tim.
Trustees, President Wecken, we had 2 meetings scheduled on our last meeting. First was the 30-minute meeting talking about the 2025 comprehensive plan. And Nicole Peterson came and gave about a 15, 20-minute overview, and like we talked about in the actual meeting, what the work these people have done with this plan, this comprehensive plan is outstanding. I've been part of it in another municipality, and it took us a couple of years to go through it, and what they did in 8, 9 months is amazing. But with that said, a motion was made by one of the committee members to extend our overall review and overall recommendations until September 17th. So in that meeting, I think I anticipate us just to kind of step through each category, because hopefully every one of the planning commissions has done their work going into this, and then if they have any questions, we'll just address it at that meeting. But then it just gives them more time. We know that they all should have probably participated up to this point, but it just gave everyone more time to look at it, more than what was given us just that 30 minutes on their last meeting. So then in the regular scheduled planning commission meeting, which was well attended, and we certainly appreciate all the people that were there, we had 2 rezoning requests. The first one was 850 6th Street North, and that was going from a C3 industrial commercial to an RM high density multifamily residential, and we just felt that there wasn't enough information. So we asked to table that, and hopefully they come back with more information as far as what they plan to putting in that area. And then the second one, I'm going to lead this by a petition by the railroad properties of Hudson LLC. I'm going to defer all comments to our village attorney, who was there, of course, and Gina, whatever. But other than that, the meeting was well attended, and I appreciate all the people that were there. And I'll turn it over to the village attorney.
Yeah, it was well attended, both of them. Unfortunately, there was a little miscommunication, and one of the notices that is required to go out didn't go out to the DNR. So essentially, we're going to be doing a redo on that. For the next plan commission, there'll be another public hearing and another vote that time.
Barry?
Question, a couple questions, actually. So I understand from Gina's earlier comments that the recording didn't all work because there was a microphone issue. So were all the public comments from the Plan Commission able to be recorded, or are they not part of the record?
The public comments all made it. There was parts of Bruce's, I take that back. I think part of 850 were Bruce's presentation definitely had some audio issues. So we
There'll be another
recorded the best we could.
opportunity.
So for public comment or for the presentation by the property owner, how do we compensate for the record not?
It will be a do-over with the public hearing and the plan commission,
So it's like it didn't happen.
essentially.
Okay. Then, Paul, could you go through as our attorney and explain to the board what needs to happen in order for the board to properly consider the zoning request? Because there's a lot of, I know there's a lot of village statute or code ordinance and state, and then the other issue that you just mentioned. Can you kind of run through it so the public and the board understand what we need to do?
Well, basically, to rezone a property, you need to have a public hearing, properly noticed.
Doesn't,
You need to have a properly noticed public hearing, which is what was lacking before. And then it goes to the Plan Commission for a recommendation, and that's only a recommendation. After that, it goes to the village board, and the village board will determine if they want to rezone it or not. And there's, because it's Riverway, it gets a little more complicated, and also if you're gonna rezone, the timing is a little unique here because, as we just discussed, we're going through a comp plan change. And in order to rezone, the rezoning has to be consistent with the comp plan. So that also factors into the matter at hand. And then, the board will decide.
2 questions. Our current comp plan is good through,
Well, your current comp plan is the current comp plan. It doesn't expire.
it's good
It
through,
needs to be updated, and that's what we're doing.
but it's still good.
Yeah,
Okay,
it doesn't just go away.
okay.
Expire.
And then, secondly, I was I had another question and I lost it. If I think of it, I'll ask you later.
Okay. Does that answer your question?
So what I'm understanding is that it can be considered in front of the board with only the public hearing and the recommendation from the Plan Commission. Is that correct?
Yeah, and, you know, the DNR will probably send a comment in. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But it's a longer process, and the rezoning is only the first step in a number of things that would have to happen to eventually have a development down there.
If that was the recommendation of the board and the comp plan was changed and the other things that need to happen in order for that to be a valid action, is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, the rezoning is only step one. There's lots of other requirements in the Riverway District to build and to grade and to fill and setbacks and flood zones, and the rezoning is only one part of the overall approval.
Is this similar to Derek? I mean, he comes and asks for a rezone, and he goes in, and second step is he goes with a building plan, basically, before the planning commission also, and a lot of those things get sorted out when that's
Yeah,
going on.
that would all have to happen, but again, the Riverway's got a whole nother layer of requirements in there.
Okay.
Realistically, Paul, how long do you think this would be? Like of a process?
Well, the rezoning part, you know, can happen
In the next
in
meeting?
the next couple
But then-
months, depending on how the comp plan situation is handled. If you're gonna enact a new comp plan, or if you're gonna amend the old comp plan, or you're gonna do nothing with either of them. You know, amending the comp plan is gonna take a couple months, because there's another public hearing and there's notices for that. But once the rezoning is done, then it's really back to the developer to make an application on the rest of it.
And to clarify, if the board votes for rezoning, because it isn't a when, it's an if.
Oh, it's an if, yeah, yeah. It's not a given. I've sat in too many meetings and tried to guess what boards are gonna do, and I've given up on that.
The board can also overturn the comp plan recommendation, is that true? I mean, I watch Hudson do it constantly.
Well, that's a little more of a sticking point, and it depends on who you talk to. Some people say you cannot. The comp plan has to be recommended by the Plan Commission. So if the board turns it down, then you have to go back and you have to do a little bit of negotiation with your Plan Commission to come up with something that Plan Commission can recommend and it's acceptable to the board.
So these other municipalities that suspend their rules and they have a comp plan issue and they decide to overturn what the comp plan says, they're not following the law?
Well, I guess I'd have to know the facts in the case, but the statute says that, you know, you can't rezone and be inconsistent with your comp plan. And if someone challenges that, you know, the judge is gonna decide, and ultimately, the rezoning could be null and void 2 years from now, when it all goes through the courts.
Any other questions or comments?
One more question. In order for any changes to be made to the comprehensive plan, either the current plan or the proposed plan, would there need to be another public hearing?
If you're going to amend the current plan, there would need to be another public hearing. There's already been a public hearing to adopt the new plan, so you would not.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Hearing none, we'll go on to item 8. Personnel and Finance Committee recommendations, claims approval requested.
Stan, can I move to recommend the board to approve the September 2025 non-recurring claims of $64,611.36?
Thank you, Kirk. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
John?
Yes.
Okay, is that you? Okay.
I should speak louder, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's my deaf ears. Okay, that's, any comments or questions on the claims?
Gina, anything out of the ordinary?
Nothing out of the ordinary. There were no major expenses that were unforeseen. We do have a couple of larger expenses. We have our bill for the chip sealing for the year of $23,000, so that was, is in our claims report to be paid out. We also had the concrete work and the sidewalk repairs for 4th Street that were approved in the last board meeting to get that sidewalk replaced and repaired. And then something that's been asked for by many people through many committees was to have a better lights and signs at the crosswalk of the county's crosswalk that goes across 35 north of town. And we worked with the state, because obviously this is a state highway. They were unwilling to put up a crosswalk. At the time, the county was unwilling to put up a better crosswalk signal. So this board approved using money from our unassigned account in order to do that, because we do believe it's a safety risk in the village. So there is a $10,000 charge for that, those lights that will be going up here hopefully in the next couple of days to a week for the north side of town. And again, these will be the flashing lights similar to how they've got kind of on the rest. So as a pedestrian is ready to cross, they will press it, the lights will flash and allow them to cross safely. So, and then I would like to also just comment that we were in a different conversation with the county. They did appreciate how we've been working together lately and offered to reimburse us for half of that.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, that was good.
That's through Gina's hard work.
Those are the expenses, Kirk.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, we need a roll call. Mary?
Yes.
Yes.
Dusty? Yes?
Yes.
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 Thank you. Public Works Committee, Brian, you're up.
Stan, we did not meet, nothing to bring forward.
Thank you. And item 10, Public Safety Committee recommendations. Chair update.
Stan, we met. We had a productive meeting. A few things that we were discussing was going over some ordinance changes that we had approved of as well, and then also trying to get more additional response or more knowledge and people to come in and discuss about the first responders for emergency response for the village. So we have some of that going on, and then also kind of a little more on some parking down in Galahad, but that's just still in the beginning stages, just for safety reasons on that side as well. And then we did talk about one of the ordinances, which we can get into the next set if we want to, and that's in regards to parking in front of mailboxes, because we're having issues with people parking in front of mailboxes, which, you'd think not to, but we're going to have to kind of move forward with something on that end of everything. So in my second one I have here, Chief, do you have any comments you want to bring up before I get into this, or? Yep. So the first ordinance that we have here is in regards to trailer parking. So what we're doing here on this one is going to be amending Chapter 90, Section 7 of Municipal Code regarding parking limits with respects to C, unattached trailer prohibited and approval. So basically, it's going to say unattached trailer prohibited unless authorized by the police department or the public works department. No person shall stop, stand, or park any trailer unattached to a vehicle by which it may be propelled or drawn, except to stop temporarily for the purpose of and while actually engaged in loading or unloading. So we will need to get your signature on that one once we have that taken care of for you.
So that's a motion that you just made?
Yes. Yep, that's a motion.
Is there a
So,
second?
yes, sorry.
Second.
Your
Brian?
motion would be to adjust the
To adjust
ordinance.
to, yep.
Yeah.
So discussion, we passed this
We did.
last meeting,
We did
correct?
last meeting, that's why it's going
Yeah.
over it right
That's what I
now.
was just gonna say, is this actually was passed by the
Yep.
board last meeting, but it wasn't in a format
Yep.
that allowed for the village president and the clerk to sign.
So we have that one, and then actually this one,
Well, let's vote on
Oh,
that one
sorry.
before I get to the next one. That's okay. All in favor of the ordinance change, is in the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, next ordinance.
Second one that we have here is to do a motion to amend ordinance number 03-2025 to amend chapter 90, section 7 of municipal code regarding parking limits with respect to mailbox obstructions prohibited and approved. Need approval for that one. It's gonna state.
I'll second that
okay.
motion.
Thank you, Kirk.
Just
I'd
so
like to read it
happy.
before we get into it.
Yeah, I will second that motion.
Okay, so it's gonna say mailbox obstructions prohibited. There shall be no parking of vehicles or placing any other obstructions such as snow, trash containers, etc. within 10 feet of either side of the United States mailbox for a period of Monday through Saturday. This applies to all U.S. mail receptacles, including neighborhood delivery and collection box units.
Thank you. Any comments or questions on that ordinance change?
What are you trying to keep from happening? Garbage
People-
cans in front of
well-
mailboxes?
Well, people parking in front of mailboxes
Parking in front, okay.
and putting obstruction in front of mailboxes.
But you included garbage cans?
We have snow, trash containers, etc. Yeah.
Okay.
So question, this sounds like a couple things I see happening. People that are here from out of town, how are they going to know that that is a violation of the ordinance without it being posted? Like, what are we going to do to notify people so that they don't violate it? And then also, so does this mean if I know my mail's been delivered and I'm having my family over, they can't park in front of my mailbox, even if I know my mail's already been delivered that day? Like, how restrictive is this, and how are we notifying people?
So I'll answer your second question first. It would not apply, there's nothing in the ordinance the way that it's currently written that says once mail has been delivered. It's 24 hours a day, 10 feet away from a mailbox or a mail those multi-family boxes that they have out there. To your first question, we have a lot of ordinances in the village that people that visit have to know about, and we don't have signage. We can't have signage for everything in the village, so it's on our website and under the village code, and they would be able to go on that. Hopefully you, as the person that is a village resident, would be able to help your visitor understand that they can't park within 10 feet of a mailbox, would be our hope as well. This is not something that we're looking at from a police department perspective. When we met with public safety, we're not looking at going out and hammering, issuing citations. There's gonna be a learning curve for people. And really, it kind of comes in partisan to the other trailer parking, because we were getting complaints of people parking a trailer in front of a mailbox, disconnecting the trailer, doing work all day long, and for multiple days in a row, because a construction trailer parked in front of a mailbox, people weren't getting their mail. Over the years, we probably have had maybe a handful or a dozen per year that we get complaints on. And usually it wasn't the police department, it was the admin side. And so from our previous administrator, I had heard lots of complaints, or from the staff, that they're getting calls and we didn't have an ordinance. So there was nothing that I could do, and there's nothing the post office could do other than not deliver mail to change that. So this gives us a little more flexibility if we do have kind of a consummate problem. But like I said, you're not gonna see one of my officers out there with a tape measuring, if the car is 9 foot 6 inches or if it's 10 feet. It's gonna be mostly driven by complaints that we get, and we actually have something then to be able to enforce and work on. And again, kind of in combination with that detached trailer part of the ordinance that you passed last month and rectified today.
Did USPS weigh in on this? Were they asking us, the post office?
No.
Okay.
It just seems like we're losing a lot of parking. Because 10 feet on either side, that's 20 feet in front of every house that has a mailbox.
It does seem,
If you look at the post office, they do have, and I don't have it with me, but they do have that you're only supposed to park within so many feet of a mailbox so that they can get their vehicles in, deliver your mail, and then get back out again. I don't have that in front of me, but I want to say it's 8 feet. So the 10 feet gives a little more. If you want to change it to 8 feet, again, we'll get our measurements out and get it to 8 feet. But we mimicked the City of Hudson ordinance, which is why the wording is the way that it is. There are no other municipalities in St. Croix County, at least on their website, that have a mailbox ordinance. And so the City of Hudson was the only one that we were able to find in St. Croix County.
And once again, we're not going around trying to police it. It's just coming back to the fact that we've had complaints about trailers parking and people not getting their mail for 3 days, and we can't really do much about it. So we're not gonna be like, oh, someone's parked right there, we're gonna ticket them for it. That's not gonna happen. It's just precautionary safety stuff.
I'm kind of with Mary on this. I think the 10 is a little big. If it's true that USPS is 8, I'd rather stick to their rule. And then when we do, if we do pass this, huh?
We know it's
I'll see if
8.
I can find that.
That's what I was looking.
He's looking. So if we do pass this, is this something you'll put up on our website and send out a message? Because people are gonna wanna know about that.
Yep, I can,
Because I have people that park, from going to the neighbors, they park across on our side even, and there's just a couple of spots where they're not 8 feet. There wouldn't be 8 feet there except for where they're parking. And, yeah, they could interfere with the mail service. I can see how that would happen. So I like it, but 10 feet seems excessive.
Of course, on my phone, it's not as easy to find as the computer.
Can we have something about warnings instead of tickets? Like I know in some other things we've talked about, it's been about using the discretion of the officer to issue a warning. I just think of bridal showers, baby showers, graduations, all these things that people come for that it would be really hard to keep everybody informed and to not have your guests get tickets. And it may be after your mail's already delivered, like there's not even an issue. It's the mail, when your mail comes and it's already there.
Well, I'm glad you're not asking Public Works to paint yellow lines on.
Well, that would be another solution.
No, that would not.
How about no?
Chief,
be
it's,
expensive.
yeah, it's sectioned, it's 8 feet.
It's 8 feet?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I'd seen 8 feet somewhere, I just couldn't find it.
Yep.
So, I guess, Dusty, I'm asking.
Section 10-124.
I would propose that we modify it to 8 feet and add something about after the mail is delivered that it would not be enforced.
So my
How
officers
would
are not
Chief
gonna
do
be able to
that?
open up
Yeah.
a mailbox to see if that mail has been delivered.
Or
So
trust
I
someone
would
enough
just-
to be like,
And again, with everything that you have in ordinances,
That's not workable.
law enforcement
No.
has discretion. So, again, we work with residents. It's more those that are
Consistently.
problems over and over and over again, where they're not learning that they can't do
Yeah.
that, where we have to start
think-
issuing citations.
I think
So-
the thing we're forgetting too is if we don't have anything here, chief can't and
Right.
won't do anything about it.
Right.
So if he doesn't have anything here, he can't do anything about it. So with this, it doesn't mean they're going to do or write those tickets, but at least this gives them the option to have something there to solve this problem.
Yeah, for habitual offenders or whatever.
Right.
And if I know my chief well, which I do, I doubt this is, like he said himself out of his own mouth, that they're not pulling out the ruler and being like, gotcha. So this is just giving him the option to handle a situation that comes by.
I do have an article here. It does say USPS clearance requirements and guidelines. It says according to the diagram given to him by the U.S. Postal Service carrier, there needs to be at least 15 feet of clearance on each side of curbside residential mailboxes in order to mail delivery to resume. So,
Yeah, and I don't know, I mean, if your mail is delivered the same time every day, that's something that I don't see ever, because they could be there in the morning, or like today, they could be there mid or late afternoon. So, who knows, it's just,
Are you saying that reads 15 feet from the mailbox, so 7.5 feet both sides?
that's going off of for snow and stuff like that. So that's what when they go in the snow. So 10 feet's not out of the ordinary, or out of.
I think it's saying 15 feet on either side.
Is it 15 feet on either
30
side, or
It
was
says
it
15 feet of clearance on each side.
Oh, Jiminy crickets.
So that's a
lose a
stretch
lot
on
of
that. That's
parking.
why we're just, once again, it's just, yeah.
well, it should be a quick meeting.
John, did John make the motion?
Yeah, the motion's been made.
Wait,
and
Dusty made the
seconded.
motion, I second?
Yeah,
Dusty, I suggest that we table that in motion just to 8 feet and move it forward. You have to make that suggestion.
I motion to adjust it to 8 feet.
You table the
The
last
table,
motion.
I'm gonna table the last one, Paul.
I will second that.
Okay.
And now you can we vote on that
just amend the motion.
to adjust
just
it
have to
to,
amend it.
yeah, adjust it to 8 feet. And then if Dusty does that, I will second it.
So I gotta amend it.
You already did that, so
yeah,
just
I
make
Can
the new
amend it,
motion.
yeah, we don't have to table it.
Okay.
Make the new motion to adjust it to 8 feet.
Make the new motion to have it be at 8 feet.
which is their guidelines, which I will second.
Okay, the motion's been made and seconded, or amended motion. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, vote, all in favor of the approval of the ordinance 03-2025, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
That's all I got for you, Stan.
Thank you. Public welfare recommendations. Kirk?
We did not meet, we have nothing coming forward yet.
Okay. How about park board?
Thank you, President Wecken. Yes, we met on Tuesday, August 19th, and had a good amount of public comment regarding the parks and some of the decisions that we've made. So I won't get into the details of those, but I want to thank everyone who's been coming for public comment and providing feedback to the park board. It's very helpful to us in informing our decision-making and policy and priorities. So thank you all for coming and speaking. We did talk to St. Croix Bike and Pedestrian Trail Coalition about the board's, I explained to the park board about the board's decision to not support us meeting with the St. Croix Bike and Pedestrian Trail Coalition for a public education event until after the comprehensive plan decision has been made. And so that was understood by the park board, and St. Croix Bike and Pedestrian Trail Coalition will consider moving forward with their National Park Board consultant to do a public education event on their own without the joint sponsorship of the park board at this time. We are also going to be revisiting becoming a tree city. Our public works director identified that as an option, and the park board was interested in discussing that further, so we'll be having that on an upcoming agenda. We took action and did vote to not recommend charging user fees for use of the pickleball courts or other courts in the village, as was recommended by our administrator, and the park board agreed with that. And then we are working on prioritizing our requests for the capital budget for 2026, and we plan to present those for next month. We'll be voting on those at September's meeting.
That's it?
That's it.
Thank you. And now we come to item 13, which is we are adjourned at 6:47.